My husband's family treats me like hotel staff for years, but I let them discover I'm actually the CEO when they cross the line at our annual retreat. The email arrived while I was reviewing financial projections for my international hotel chain. Remember to bring appropriate attire for the lakeside retreat this weekend. Nothing extravagant needed, just family. My father-in-law's message read, the condescension barely concealed between the lines. I smiled to myself. If only he knew. I'm Emily Zhang, 38, founder and CEO of Emerald Lake Hospitality Group. But my in-laws remained blissfully unaware of this fact. To them, I was simply their son David's wife, who worked in the hotel business. I'd never corrected their assumption that I was merely a hotel manager at one of the properties. The truth was, I had built my company from nothing, transforming a single struggling lakeside hotel into a global luxury hospitality empire. When I met David at an industry conference 12 years ago, I was already successful, but preferred to maintain a low profile about my wealth and status. He worked in advertising for a mid-sized agency and seemed refreshingly different from his status-obsessed family. We fell in love, and I made the decision to keep my true position private. Let them know me for who I was, not what I owned. David agreed, though I occasionally caught him wincing when his family made dismissive comments about my little management job. The annual family lakeside retreat had always been my father-in-law Victor's power play. He'd rent the most expensive property at Emerald Lake, my flagship resort, and spend the week subtly reminding everyone that he was generously treating the family to this luxury. The irony that he was actually paying me for the privilege was a private amusement I kept to myself for 7 years. But things changed 3 months ago. I accidentally overheard Victor and my sister-in-law Catherine plotting during a family dinner. "It's time David moved up in the world," Victor had said, unaware I was approaching. That Rebecca from his agency would be perfect. Her mother owns that publishing empire. Emily's nice enough, but she's simply not at our level. This lake retreat is our opportunity to show David the difference between real class and, well, you know. I quietly retreated, my fingers finding the master key card in my pocket, the one with my name and title emblazoned on it. Perhaps it was time for a different kind of family vacation. Thursday afternoon, I arrived at the lakeside estate ahead of everyone, taking my private access road. The staff, well-trained in discretion but fully aware of my identity, had prepared everything according to my specifications. I changed into a simple cotton dress, exactly the kind Victor would deem discount store quality, and waited. They arrived in a procession of luxury vehicles, Victor leading in his Range Rover. David kissed me hello while his father surveyed the property with his usual proprietary air. Catherine trailed behind with her husband James, and the new addition to their gathering, Rebecca from David's agency, wearing designer resort wear that probably cost more than Victor thought I earned in a week. "Emily, dear," Victor called with practiced false warmth, "help Lucia with the luggage, would you?" He gestured toward their household assistant struggling with several expensive bags. "Actually," I smiled, "Lucia can take the evening off. I've arranged for full concierge service for the duration of our stay." Victor's eyes narrowed. "And who is covering this unexpected expense?" "Don't concern yourself," I replied evenly. "It's been handled." The evening proceeded according to Victor's transparent script. Rebecca was seated beside David at every opportunity, while I was consistently placed at the far end of the group. My husband, I noticed with growing disappointment, did nothing to intervene. During dinner on the terrace, Victor asked me to check the air conditioning in the West Wing. When I suggested calling maintenance, he interrupted, reminding everyone that I worked in hotels and should handle such minor inconveniences. Meanwhile, Rebecca was encouraged to tell David more about her mother's new media acquisition. My phone vibrated with the resort security team's evening report. I excused myself and stepped inside. Through the window I could see Rebecca touching David's arm, laughing at something he'd said. My husband was clearly enjoying the attention. The security report included footage from earlier that showed Victor and Catherine tampering with my water glass. I sent a quick message to my head of security. Initiate Protocol 12. When I returned, Victor was critiquing my attire, claiming it failed to meet their standards. David remained silent as his father suggested I might be more comfortable staying at a budget accommodation in town since the house was getting crowded. When my husband agreed, I knew it was time. The terrace doors opened. Margaret, my head of security, appeared with 2 other officers. Ms. Zhang, she addressed me formally. Is everything satisfactory? Victor demanded I handle this interruption immediately. I reached for my master key card and company ID. Actually, Victor, I do need to address this. As founder and CEO of Emerald Lake Hospitality Group, I regret to inform you that your reservation has been terminated. The silence was absolute. David's fork clattered against his plate. Yes, I replied to Victor's stunned expression. Owner of this resort and the entire international chain, all 23 properties. And since you violated multiple terms of your rental agreement, attempting to tamper with another guest's food and drink, for instance, I'm exercising my right to end your stay. Catherine stammered about my being just a hotel manager, but I explained I'd allowed them to treat me like staff because I wanted to see who they truly were. I informed David about forthcoming divorce proceedings and told Rebecca her position at her mother's company would be eliminated following my recent acquisition. As security escorted them out, I advised them I owned all luxury properties in the area. David lingered to say he hadn't known about my status, to which I replied that was precisely the problem. He never stood up for his wife regardless of her position. After they left, I offered Lucia a position as director of guest services with triple her salary. As we watched the sunset, I told her sometimes the best revenge is allowing people to reveal exactly who they are. The incident went viral within days after someone recorded Victor's meltdown during the eviction. Social media erupted with the Lakeside Boss Lady saga, especially when his previous posts bragging about Emerald Lake vacations surfaced. The only call I accepted was from Rebecca's mother. Our brief conversation ended with her daughter's transfer to Tokyo in exchange for my support of her company's expansion. The divorce proceeded swiftly, with David receiving only what our prenuptial agreement specified. Victor's damage control attempts backfired when my PR team released the security footage of him tampering with my drink. A year later, I hosted a charity gala raising millions for hospitality worker scholarships. Victor's attempt to purchase a ticket was refunded with a note. We reserve the right to refuse service. Business publications that had once dismissed me now praised my strategic brilliance. In a profile for a prestigious financial magazine, I explained how the experience had shaped my company culture, ensuring every employee was treated with equal respect regardless of position. When I received David and Rebecca's engagement party invitation, I sent a framed copy of the rental agreement with the eviction clause highlighted, noting, "May your new family treat each other better than your last one treated me." The final twist came when I acquired Victor's exclusive country club. Upon learning of his lifetime membership, I had it terminated using his own words. His presence would make other members uncomfortable. Sometimes, sitting in my office overlooking the lake, I reflect on that dinner and the shock on their faces when they realized the person they had dismissed had held the power all along. Victor still drives past the resort occasionally, slowing at the gates to stare at my name on the sign. I wonder if he finally understands that his greatest mistake wasn't underestimating my wealth, it was underestimating my worth. If you enjoyed this story of sweet revenge and empowerment, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more captivating content.